Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that's been buzzing for decades: aspartame. Is it the sweet-tasting villain it's often made out to be, or is there more to the story? Let's sift through the science and separate fact from fiction. So, what exactly is aspartame? It's an artificial sweetener, also known by brand names like NutraSweet and Equal. It was discovered way back in 1965 by a chemist named James Schlatter. The interesting thing about aspartame is that it's about 200 times sweeter than regular sugar. This means you only need a tiny amount to get that sweet taste, which is why it became so popular in diet or sugar-free products. Think about it: diet sodas, sugar-free yogurts, chewing gum, even some tabletop sweeteners. Aspartame is everywhere. The main reason for its popularity is simple: it provides sweetness without the calories. For people managing their weight, dealing with diabetes, or just trying to cut down on their sugar intake, this sounds like a dream come true. You can enjoy a sweet treat without the caloric load of sugar and without spiking your blood sugar levels. This is a huge benefit, especially for individuals who need to carefully monitor their glucose. Unlike sugar, aspartame doesn't contribute to tooth decay either, because the bacteria in your mouth can't metabolize it to produce acid. So, from a dental health perspective, that's another point in its favor. But here's where things get complicated. If you've been on the internet for more than 5 minutes, you've probably seen some scary headlines about aspartame. Claims linking it to everything from headaches and dizziness to more serious conditions have been circulating for years. It's one of the most studied food additives in history, and this intense scrutiny has fueled a lot of public debate and confusion. So, let's tackle the biggest myth head-on: does aspartame cause cancer? This is probably the most persistent and frightening claim out there. This concern largely originated from some early studies on rodents. However, major regulatory and health organizations around the world have extensively reviewed the scientific evidence, and their conclusions are pretty consistent. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, has approved aspartame and states that it is safe for the general population. They've reviewed over 100 studies to reach this conclusion. Similarly, the European Food Safety Authority, EFSA, conducted a comprehensive reevaluation and concluded that aspartame is safe at the current acceptable daily intake levels. The American Cancer Society also states that most studies in people have not found a link between aspartame use and an increased risk of cancer. Now, you might have heard about the World Health Organization's recent classification. In 2023, the International Agency for Research on Cancer, or IARC, classified aspartame as possibly carcinogenic to humans. This sounds alarming, right? But it's crucial to understand what this classification actually means. The IARC's system is based on the strength of the evidence, not the level of risk. The possibly carcinogenic category, Group 2B, means there is limited, and often weak, evidence in humans and less than sufficient evidence in animal studies. To put it in perspective, this same category includes things like aloe vera extract and pickled vegetables. At the same time, another WHO committee, the Joint Expert Committee on Food Additives, or JECFA, reaffirmed the acceptable daily intake for aspartame. This is the amount you can safely consume every day. For aspartame, it's 40 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. To exceed this, an adult weighing about 150 pounds, or 70 kilograms, would need to drink more than 9 to 14 cans of diet soda every single day. Assuming those cans contain the maximum permitted level of aspartame. Most people are consuming far, far less than that. So, for the vast majority of us, our consumption levels are well within the safe zone. What about other myths? Let's talk about headaches. Some people report experiencing headaches after consuming products with aspartame. While anecdotal reports exist, controlled scientific studies have not found a consistent link. In double-blind studies, where neither the participants nor the researchers know who is getting aspartame and who is getting a placebo, there's no clear evidence that aspartame is a significant trigger for headaches in the general population. That said, individuals can have unique sensitivities, so if you notice a personal pattern, it's always wise to listen to your body. Another common claim is that aspartame can cause weight gain by tricking your brain. The theory goes that the sweet taste signals to your body that calories are coming. And when they don't arrive, it messes with your metabolism and appetite regulation, making you crave more sweets later. This is an interesting idea, but the scientific evidence is mixed and complex. Some studies suggest a potential link, while many others show that replacing sugary drinks with artificially sweetened ones can be an effective tool for weight management and weight loss. The key seems to be what you do with those saved calories. If you drink a diet soda instead of a regular one but then feel justified in eating a large slice of cake, you won't see a benefit. But if you use it as a straightforward substitute, it can help reduce your overall calorie intake. So, who should actually avoid aspartame? There is one group of people for whom aspartame is genuinely dangerous: individuals with a rare genetic disorder called phenylketonuria, or PKU. People with PKU cannot properly metabolize an amino acid called phenylalanine, which is one of the components of aspartame. When aspartame is digested, it breaks down into three things: aspartic acid, phenylalanine, and a small amount of methanol. For someone with PKU, phenylalanine can build up in the body to toxic levels, causing severe health problems. This is why you'll see a warning on all products containing aspartame that says, "Phenylketonurics, contains phenylalanine." It's a serious condition, but it's very rare and is typically diagnosed at birth through newborn screening. For the rest of us, what's the final verdict? Based on decades of research and the consensus of major health organizations worldwide, aspartame, when consumed in moderation, is considered safe for the general population. The scary headlines often oversimplify complex science or highlight weak or discredited studies. The key word, as with almost everything in nutrition, is moderation. Living on a diet of nothing but artificially sweetened products probably isn't the path to optimal health, just as a diet of pure sugar isn't. A balanced diet rich in whole foods, fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains is always the best foundation for good health. Artificial sweeteners can be a useful tool within that framework, helping you reduce your sugar and calorie intake without sacrificing all the sweet tastes you enjoy. They can make it easier to stick to a healthy eating plan, especially for those managing specific health conditions like diabetes. It's completely understandable why there's so much fear and confusion around food additives like aspartame. We're constantly bombarded with conflicting information. But by looking at the robust body of scientific evidence and the conclusions of major regulatory bodies, we can get a much clearer picture. The science tells us that for most people, the occasional diet soda or sugar-free yogurt isn't something to lose sleep over. Ultimately, the choice is yours. If you prefer to avoid artificial sweeteners altogether, that's perfectly fine. There are many other options out there, including natural non-caloric sweeteners like stevia and monk fruit, or simply reducing the overall sweetness in your diet. But if you do enjoy products with aspartame, you can feel reassured that the overwhelming scientific consensus supports their safety when consumed within the recommended daily limits. Thanks so much for watching and for taking the time to learn with us. What are your thoughts on aspartame? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful and want to see more content that breaks down complex science, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next one.